Welcome back, everyone. JAYBONE here for Smash This Podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Monday. Well, I certainly hope everybody's having a happy Monday. I know sometimes Mondays can be a drag, but coming out of this last weekend, I gotta say, I'm doing pretty good. Saw what I thought to be was a great pay-per-view last night, and we'll get into that. And look, I get that everybody has their opinions on it, and you are certainly allowed to yours. But we got a ton of stuff to discuss tonight, so kick back, relax. And you know what we do as we get into this? We smash that like button, we smash that sub button, and we ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of my content hits your screen. And if you're used to listening to stuff, your podcast with audio, Smash This Podcast for your bone on the go is available on anchor.fm/Smash This Podcast. And I love Anchor because it just spreads it out all over the place. It spreads it out to places that I don't even know where it's going. And all of a sudden I'll get a email saying, hey, your podcast is on here. Quick, claim it. So it's on Spotify, Apple, Google, Castbox, Bullrun. One of the newest one is Verbal, VURBL. That's a relatively new one. So yeah, it's on there. If you're, checking stuff out on there. It's also recently on Podbean. That's a new one. So wherever you get your audio, there's a real good chance it's on there. And hey, hit me up if you're used to listening to something somewhere and you can't find it. So, I'll see what I can do, because Anchor's pretty good about that, and other sites are pretty good about responding to Anchor as well. So great to see those numbers growing slowly but surely. There's also a support button on anchor.fm as well. If you want to tune in there, help support the show. It's kind of like Patreon, but not really Patreon. Set up for 3 different tiers if you want to help support the brand. All right. Excuse me. Ooh. All right. We are hydrated. We are ready to go. We are going to do our best to not sound like JR from last night. Speaking of JR from last night, Jiminy Christmas. That poor guy. That poor son bitch. Poor JR had a rough night last night. And I want to thank everybody who tuned in last night, got a few followers, got a few subs out of last night's, what I consider to be an all-nighter. We podcasted for 5 flipping hours last night. Can you believe that? And I thought I was only going to do that on Tuesdays. Nope. We did a little watch-along live reaction, if you didn't. And my original plan, and I want to apologize, my original plan was to separate the review section of it and throw it up on the audio. And I didn't do that because by the time I got to that point of podcasting last night, I was so exhausted and I didn't exactly like the way the rest of it turned out. I just basically forced it out and just tried to finish the best I could. But I basically started feeling like Jim Ross. Just didn't quite sound as bad. But that poor guy. Hopefully he sounds better by this Wednesday, or maybe they'll just give him the week off and tell him to rest up. That'd be probably the best. Hopefully it's nothing contagious. I shouldn't joke about it, but, it's just try to keep it lighthearted. So, yeah. All right. So, yeah, wherever you're watching from, thank you, whether it's YouTube or Twitch or if you're listening on audio, it's all love. Most appreciated. One last thing, going to be working on some new merchandise stuff soon, but it's going to take some time. So just stay patient, folks. Stay patient. It's all a work in progress. It always is. Always evolving. Always trying to upgrade stuff here and there. All right. So what we're going to start out with, because I know Raw is not everybody's cup of tea, but we are going to cover it tonight. But we're going to start out with some news first. We're going to start out with some news. We're going to cover some updates that we got from following last night's pay-per-view. A lot of stuff came out during the media scrum, some interesting tidbits about last night's AEW Revolution. Plus, we got a big update on the see, if Mark was here, he would screw me up on this just horribly. He was you know how Uncle Mark is when we start talking about the Peacock. And the network going to the Peacock. We know how much Uncle Mark just loves his Peacock. He goes crazy. We got a great update on that, folks. So just hang on, folks. Relax. We got some news for you, then we'll jump into Raw. Jiminy Christmas. And now, JAYBONE's News. Brought to you by himself. Take it away.
Searching for my fake wrestling news.
God, whoever that guy is, they need to fire his ass. Jiminy Christmas. So, legitimate news. Hell yeah. All right, we're getting some chatters in here now. What's up, everyone? All right, so some great little updates coming out of last night's media scrum. If you didn't see, there were some little things that came out throughout the day today. Different news sources sharing the media scrum or portions of the media scrum from last night. They had Darby Allin, Paul White, Adam Page, and then Tony Khan on there. Interesting that they had Darby Allin on there because I thought he basically died during that street fight, that last bump he took through that huge wooden plank, and he dropped the elbow of floor up from where Cage was laid out. That was pretty devastating. So, but his amount of questions that he did on this media scrum was literally short but sweet. He was on there for 5 minutes and he was out. So, no reason. Just, I'm assuming that's why they did it so short with Darby Allin. So, this has to do with Darby, and I just kind of added little things from everybody from the media scrum coming out of last night's pay-per-view. Some very interesting stuff about Darby here. We knew he had a lot of freedom as far as like when he shoots these videos and he's doing his stunts and whatnot. I had no clue that he was going to be having this much control in the street fight. I had number one, I really didn't have a clue what we were going to get. And that street fight, look, everybody's allowed their own opinions, but that is one of the best cinematic street fights that I have seen since the inception, about a year ago now, of cinematic, street fights going on. Actually, over a year. We've seen that in Impact Wrestling quite a bit over the last few years, depending on if it was like the Undead Universe or something related to Sami Callihan or LAX or whatever. We've seen that a lot, but we've seen it even more now with the pandemic and everything going on. And by all means, give me your opinions on that street fight. I know some of you were pretty for it, but I know there's going to be some different people in here tonight. So by all means, let me know your thoughts on that street fight from last night. So news, the big thing about Darby's short but sweet media scrum here is we found out that he basically had his directing debut and had about 90% of the say of what happened in this. Like he was a major part of this filming, behind the scenes of what happened here. And that I think is just amazing. Did not know that he was a film school dropout, but the fact that Tony Khan took the time to sit down with him and said, okay, so here's basically what I want out of this. And then he let Darby Allin unfold it all and direct it. I think that's absolutely just amazing. Bell's Boy says, greetings, JAYBONE. Hope you are well. You hear that one of the members of Top Flight was injured, which is why they weren't at the Tag Team Casino Battle Royal last night. Oh, that's interesting. But they had 15 teams in there. Oh, maybe that's because they announced some teams late and replaced one or two of them. Okay. All right. Wow. Interesting. Bad news. Yeah. Hopefully they heal up soon. I did not hear any details whatsoever. Zach with the zinger of the night. Oh my God. Darby did answer questions longer than Trent's marriage. Oh, Zach, you're just, man. Just cold-blooded sometimes, Zach. I don't know about you. No, I certainly hope that whoever it was, and I'll look into this over the course of the next couple of days. I'm sure more will come out before Wednesday, before this week's Dynamite, the fallout from AEW Revolution. So yeah, and then Tony Khan did have a couple things to say about Darby just backing up what he said earlier, which was really nice that he did that. He said he was a great filmmaker. In what he all planned, and that he storyboarded the whole thing. And I was like, and that's what you do with movies and videos and all that. That's great. So that he had the knowledge to do that. I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So props to Darby, man. It just makes me even a bigger fan of his, because considering he was already one of my favorites, since the start of this brand. Crazy. So then we had Paul White on there and saying that that this locker room was refreshing and very positive, and that he's really looking forward to the chance to do new projects and to build this Paul White brand. Like he's been doing the Big Show for the last 20-ish years, whatever it's been. I got to see exactly, you know, when he started in the WWE. I think it was about 2000, give or take a little. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's about what it was. But he said he needed a fresh start, and that there was only so much more that he really couldn't do anything else in the WWE, and that Vince McMahon called him up when he found out that he was signed, and he congratulated him and said that he is absolutely going to be a great asset to AEW. So I mean that's pretty. I mean, you hear about, you know, WWE being salty and this, that, and the other thing, and Big Show had all positive things to say. So he didn't slam anybody. He didn't have anything negative to say about leaving the WWE. He just said he needed a fresh start, and that starting in a new place was going to give him more opportunities. So you can't blame him for that. At this point in his career, given the fact that he's the healthiest he's been in the last at least decade plus. Swag fan. Dear God. Swag fan says Paul White is one of the most talented big guys ever. Very athletic for his size. Shame WWE didn't use it. Well, I would say WWE did use it, but they did a lot of just really goofy shit with him at times. So I certainly think they used it depending on who he was working with. You know, sometimes it was comical. Sometimes it was a change from babyface to heel or heel to babyface, as we know he's done many a time. I mean, you name it, he's done it. He's done everything in the WWE, you know, as far as titles, everything. So, but yeah, I mean, towards the end, he did have to deal with injuries, and I think that's why we didn't see him as much. But he was also trying to get healthy. But then while he's gone, you know, they're trying to create more stars and whatnot. Some people would argue with that, but you know, the company has to move on, and they're going to look at the younger talent as opposed to older talent like him, depending on what's going on. So, I mean, you can see all the sides of it. So, but yeah, I'm very excited for Big Show and Paul White, excuse me. 20 plus years of Big Show, you can't help it. He's always going to be Big Show, right? So, Paul White, we got it. So yeah. He basically said that, and I've never heard him as part of like an interview or media scrum before. It's very interesting, and he was also very kind to the who's that? AJ, awesome, the little boy who does the interviews during the media scrums for AEW. Kid's adorable. Kid's just adorable. Adam Page came out looking 3 sheets to the wind. And not a big fan of that. I got to say, you know, it's like it's one thing if you're walking around the glass. It's another thing if you look like you could barely keep your eyes open. Maybe it was just the match, and I don't know. But anyways, Mark, what is up, dude? Well, it's a Paul White. Love you, Mark. What is up? Speaking of Mark, later this week, he and I forget what day he said. I think he said we're going to do this Friday. We're going to do predictions for Sacrifice coming up this coming weekend. Another big weekend ahead of us. Can't wait. So yeah, watch for more details on that. Adam Page was out there cracking jokes about that he's cousins with Ethan Page because they got the same name, and that they go to family reunions at Dallas's house. Dallas, a.k.a. DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. And the other, now it's just, you know, joking. But one thing he was asked was about, and I even inquired this. I said this on the review, so I'm glad we got this, because it looked like after all was said and done and he got a big victory, his big money victory, over Matt Hardy, that he was going to be joining the Dark Order. It seemed like they were all on the same page, and why not? Why not? The time is right. Everybody's on the same page. They helped him again. Come off with a significant win at a pay-per-view. That's pretty big. That's big for Hangman Adam Page, considering the tumultuous last half year plus that he's had. Losing the tag titles, leaving the Elite. A bit of a downward spiral for him. Now he's finally kind of getting back on track. Things are starting to look up for him. So why not join the Dark Order, where you're surrounded by people that will keep you lifted up, keep things positive, even if it is called the Dark Order. But he said, he is not going to be joining the Dark Order, in that they've pretty much come to an understanding that they can have each other's back, but not necessarily have to, run down the road with each other. So, very interesting there. Very interesting that that was put on there. I kind of expected that to come out on, being the Elite or Dynamite, possibly. But no, we got it on the media scrum. But hey, that's why we listen to the media scrum, because we get those little nuggets of information that are sometimes critical to understanding the storylines even more. So, because you never know what people are going to ask, So that's the stuff coming out of there. A couple more things, and then we'll get into the Raw review. Tony Khan was next. He had the biggest piece of the media scrum here. Updates on Mox and Omega. He said they're both okay, that neither one had major injuries. Of course, they're banged up, from the explosions and the barbed wire and everything. But he said neither one came out with horrible injuries, so that was great to see. Now this is where it gets interesting. Okay, it was all over. It was memed to the 1000th power. It was talked about. It was deliberated. It was tarnished. It was obliterated. Like the boards were in the match. People destroyed the last couple seconds of this pay-per-view. Okay? People lost their damn minds over this. I wouldn't be surprised that over the course of the next week, 2 weeks, month, whatever, we start seeing footage of people destroying their damn TVs because of the last seconds of this pay-per-view, and saying that this ruined the pay-per-view for them. Why would you? Okay, number one, not sure if this was a mishap or if it was on purpose. The way Tony Khan is trying to spin this, he makes it sound like it was all on purpose. And I'm going to get a little old school here, so just bear with me for a minute. You remember the old Wile E. Coyote super genius cartoons where Wile E's always trying to get the Roadrunner, and he's always trying to construct something. He's always trying to make something Acme something. He's always trying to one up, and he builds something and it fizzles out. It backfires on him. How many times have we watched those cartoons you know, and maybe you haven't. Maybe you have no clue what I'm talking about. I realize I'm aging myself, but this is what I grew up with. This is the best kind of comparison that I could come up with. Where you had this crazy, insane, violent match, you know, barbed wire, bleeding, explosions, barbed wire bats. The one barbed wire bat exploded right on the upper body as it collided with Jon Moxley. One of the things from this match that made me like jump, like, oh my God. Like, it just took my breath away for a second. I was like, geez Louise, you know, it's like the explosions are close to them at all, you know, when they're hitting ringside, you see the smoke, but it happens so fast, it's hard to tell sometimes how close the explosions are. This literally went off right in Mox's face, and I was like, Jesus Christ. That's just crazy. But so yeah, people were upset about the ending, but why would you look? And you could compare it to like the bump from Matt Hardy. Yeah, it was a horrible bump, but why would you let it ruin your entire evening? Unless you're such a Matt Hardy fan. Like, you know, the entire walls of your palatial estate is covered in Matthew Hardy merch, and you can't bear the sight of somebody's blood being spilled like that. People just losing their minds over this. I don't understand. It's fucking wrestling, people. I understand you want people to win and you want people to lose. Hell, I get excited for... Hell, I was excited when The Miz won because I love The Miz. You know, and then the Miz lost, but I was more excited about Lashley getting a chance at the title, and they dragged it out for 3 fucking hours. Did I lose my mind? No. It's one thing I've tried, and that's why I always preach this. I preach patience. Let them tell the story. But look, I get it that people were upset by this, but there is no reason to say it ruined your... I mean, if it seriously ruined your night, don't watch wrestling for a while. Take a break. If you're getting that upset about shit, and I've talked to people about this, and they get so angry at me. They get so angry at me, and they don't get it. They don't get it. If you're getting that upset about shit in professional wrestling, then there's something wrong with you. Then you shouldn't be watching it. Turn the channel for a while. Watch something else. Watch another brand. If you can't get away from wrestling, watch another brand for a while. Something. So, I'm not saying you had to love it. I'm not saying you had to just, you know, love everything. I'm not saying that. I get that people were upset by it. I was more confused by it than anything. So Tony says that the reason why I was talking about the whole, you know, Looney Tunes cartoons thing is because Tony Khan said that Kenny Omega built a dud. There, see, I brought it full circle because I completed my thought there. Sorry it took that damn long. Mark, you're funny. He says, fuck you, JAYBONE. Taya's coming back. She will someday. She will. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that she will. Let's just hope that she has fun doing what she's doing for now while earning that big money. Okay. Yeah. Beep, beep, Broadrunner. Yes. So yeah, so you know, maybe there was supposed to be a bigger explosion, and something just didn't happen the way they wanted it to on TV. So heaven forbid Tony Khan spins something and they try to have some fun with it. Are they going to shut down the fucking company? No. Have fun with it. Is it a mishap? Sure, probably. Whatever. You think Tony Khan's going to say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go to Europe for a month and fuck AEW on TNT for a while. No, he's going to keep rolling. He's going to keep it going. So there sounds like they're going to turn it into part of the storyline. Like, Kenny legit fucked up. He tried to build this big thing to destroy Moxley. Well, of course, now it took some extra help. It took the Good Brothers to get in there. But he couldn't get the job done. Now, the only thing that is confusing about this is Eddie Kingston like selling the shit out of the sparklers, you know. Like, okay, you know, maybe he didn't realize what went off around him. That's my only logical thinking, is he didn't realize what happened, so he was just trying to do his part. But everybody else saw something different. So I was like, all right, get up, Eddie, get up. And he was probably like, no, fuck you, I'm selling this. So whatever. It's like I said, I'm not going to lose my mind over it. Mistakes were made. The pay-per-view, in my opinion, was awesome. Every match, they brought it. Whether you were into the people or not, they busted their ass and brought it. So, yes, Bell's boy, you know it. I'm Wile E. Coyote, super genius. You know it. You know it. So, yeah, what else here? So, yeah, so Kenny built a dud. His plan failed. And the rest of it will be explained on Wednesday. So, Wednesday, they're going to continue this story. All right. So, talked about Darby being great. We covered that. Christian said, Christian coming in, he will wrestle on a regular basis. So, yes, I suppose he would be considered a special attraction, but he's not going to be one of those special attractions like, okay, well, I'm gonna wrestle once every 3 pay-per-views. No, he wants to wrestle again. He's in great shape. That's what Tony said. He's been cleared, passed all the necessary protocols. So I can't wait to see what he does. Now, he didn't come out there and say anything. He put pen to paper. He responded to the crowd, you know, like, hey, I'm here. The crowd responded in kind, and he put pen to paper, and then he said, adios. I'll see you. I'm sure he's going to be around Wednesday. And from what, and I didn't write this down, but from what it looks like on social media, looks like Ethan Page is going to be making his Dynamite debut on Wednesday. So I'm very excited about that too. Wouldn't that be interesting if those two formed a tag team? Although I do want to see Christian and I want to see Ethan do singles stuff. But, hey, maybe, you know, it'd be like the Terrors from up there, you know, something, I don't know. You can't call them the North. No, let's not do that. No. We respect the North, okay? We don't want to make fun of it. So, what else here? Red Velvet, he said basically, someone asked about her being signed. He said that she will be elite very soon. So I'm sure she is going to be signed to a contract very soon. Sounds great. Basically said she didn't have much else to do. It's just a matter of finding the right time, it sounds like. And he also talked about women headlining sooner rather than later. That's great. Considering this is Women's History Month? I think I heard somewhere today, or I know it's today was Women's International Women's Day or something like that. So, hey, happy International Women's Day. I have an incredible woman in my life. I'm going to tell her that before I go to bed. And then he said that the finish from the pay-per-view would be explained. So that covers the media scrum, majority of the highlights from it. So hopefully that helps explain something. Maybe not some things, specifically, but sounds like we're at least going to get some answers soon to those questions we didn't get at the pay-per-view, or that came up at the pay-per-view. So can't wait to see the fallout from AEW Revolution this Wednesday on Dynamite. Last but certainly not least, I did hear, if you guys are interested in, if you have the WWE Network and you're wondering if you should get it on Peacock, behave yourself, Mark, because I know you're loving this conversation now. There is a special going on. If you go to peacocktv.com/sports/WWE, you'll see a big thing there that says, welcome, WWE Network. Start streaming on March 18th on Peacock Premium. Now, here's what the special is. It says WWE Network is moving to Peacock. Stream every live WWE pay-per-view event, including WrestleMania and your favorite WWE shows. Plus, get everything Peacock Premium has to offer: hit movies and shows, live sports, and more. There's a thing there that says get started. Here's the thing. Just $250 a month, a 50% discount for a limited time. That's pretty damn good. And that's the premium. So here it says limited time offer. Get 4 months of access for a single one-time payment of $9.99. Upon conclusion of the 4-month offer period, your subscription will auto-renew at a monthly basis at $4.99 a month until you cancel. Cancel anytime by visiting Peacock account. This offer expires a month from now, April 9th. Okay? So you got a month to take advantage of this. I think it's a pretty damn good deal. I think I might cancel my network and jump on the Peacock real soon here. Mark says maybe I'll review Mania with JAYBONE this year. I've got the premium cock. Oh, there, see, there it goes. There it goes. I knew it was going to come out. Damn it, Mark. Told you to behave yourself. Styles, jump on the what? Oh my God. Exactly, Styles. Exactly. Bill's boy with the Beavis and Butthead. Jump on the what? Woo! What? Oh, I can't even repeat that. I'll get kicked off of YouTube and Twitch. Mark, damn. Critical Sting says, a lesser man would have deleted a comment right now. Make that 2 comments. Oh, my God. I'm dying. Oh, I love you guys. See, this is why I keep doing this, is because of moments like this. Sometimes I look at my account, I look at what I'm doing, and I just say, why the hell do I keep doing this? 7 years in, almost 8 now. Almost 8 years in. Why do I keep doing this? It's for goofy Little fucking moments like this that just make me laugh. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. I love you guys. All right. So, great deal from WWE and Peacock as far as if you're interested in, if you have the network, you're going to transfer over to the Peacock and take advantage of everything under the sun on that site. So, I'm absolutely going to take advantage of this. I have no clue what's all on there. I know Mark was talking about some stuff the other day. There's a new Punky Brewster show. I grew up on Punky Brewster. Now Punky Brewster is all grown up and she's my age. So, gosh, that's kind of interesting. Just weird, but hey, maybe I'll check it out. But I know there's certainly more than that on there. After Mania, you should do throwbacks, Mark says, on Mondays, JAYBONE. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how the numbers do from here till Mania. I know right now for the WWE numbers on my channel, they are not that great. Sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they're not so good. Like SmackDown's numbers, like it made me never want to do SmackDown ever again. But I love watching SmackDown. So I hope people tune in to hear me talk about it. So, whatever. I don't know. It's up in the air. I'll keep doing it for now. Won't kill me. Won't kill me. So that's the news updates. Went a little long on that, but that's okay. We'll make Raw short but sweet because, damn, it went quick tonight. I don't know why, but tonight's actually flew. There was actually some... It was kind of like SmackDown. Like it was either really good or things that made you go, what? Okay, where's the soundbite? Where is it? Here it is.
How did you do that?
Thank you. Exactly. That's exactly. Or
Who booked this?
There you go. All right. So let's talk some Raw. That's it for the news. Let's talk some Raw. Season 29, episode 10. Monday Night Raw. Now, this was interesting. I was putting together the cover for tonight's show. And all of a sudden, as I, kept doing research to figure out how I wanted to do tonight's show and everything, it changed. Middle of the day, the promotion changed. Who'd have thunk? They never do that, right? No, they do it all the fucking time. Paul Nelson says, how is Auntie? Auntie is doing good. Because we were supposed to get a celebration today. We were supposed to get the almighty celebration of Bobby Lashley winning the WWE Championship from Miz. But we didn't get that, did we? We got highlights of last week. But then we also... laughing at the chat. We got a title match. We got Miz's title match. I thought they would have saved this for Fastlane. That would have made it really freaking easy, right? That's me. But I'm not booking this shit, am I? So, we did not get the celebration, but everybody showed up tonight looking, there it is in the chat, proud as a peacock. Thank you, Zach. I know you meant that for something else, but anyways. So, and that's actually how we started out tonight's episode. So I was like, oh, wow, I thought this would have headlined it. Like they, build it up throughout, have Miz pissing and moaning all episode long here and there, storming the hallways, whining to people. No, we actually started out with, well, Miz was whining here. He was complaining, but it certainly didn't help any, did it? So he said his piece about how he was screwed out of his title. And so then he got his rematch, which he was certainly allowed to have. So no rest for the wicked, as they say. So Miz with Morrison out there and Bobby Lashley with MVP. Forgot to jot that down. Not that it matters now. But MVP was out there, and he's starting to come out with a stylish cane now. I don't know what he came out with last week. I think he had a crutch or something. So yeah, he's full blown pimping now. He's looking great, styling, even if he is a little banged up. He's walking with a slick cane now. Hey, just like Slick. Love Slick back in the day. Bobby Lashley wins here. Miz taps out. And from my recollection, that's the last we see of the Miz tonight. So they got that out of the way in a hurry. We get the announcement for WrestleMania is back in business. That's going to be like the theme of WrestleMania this year. Back in business. And it's appropriate, because last year they had to cancel WrestleMania. Well, cancel it for the fans in public. They still held it, but it was all just, in front of nobody. Just the fans on watching at home. So WrestleMania tickets are going on sale a week from tomorrow. Depending on where you're watching this, it's a week from today. Week from Tuesday, to be exact. So I'm sure everything will be, socially distanced, spaced out in this stadium. Where is it? Raymond J. Stadium, whatever it's called. I'm sure it's going to be very similar to how they had the Super Bowl, maybe not cardboard cutouts to make it look fuller, but who knows? I actually kind of enjoyed the look of that at the Super Bowl, not going to lie, because it actually was deceiving depending on what part of the game you were watching, because it did look very full, with the cardboard cutouts, until they did a little zoom in on the crowd, and then you're like, oh no, it's not. It's, all spaced out people. So, but whatever, that's up to, Vinnie that's his business, how he decides to do it. But I believe it did say a limited amount of seats were for sale. So it'll be interesting to see how many people they put in the stadium. Hopefully numbers will continue to go down, as the vaccine keeps on getting distributed around the country. We can just, pray for the best, I guess. So yeah, so great news. If you're planning on going to WrestleMania this year, there you go. Get your tickets a week from Tuesday. We get an announcement, another one, just a reminder at this point that Rhea Ripley is coming soon to Raw. Still very excited about that. Not sure if it's going to be, at this point, it might as well be after WrestleMania, because we got, a month to go or whatever it is. Because Fastlane is a week from Sunday. So we'll see. So yeah, probably the Monday after WrestleMania. And I want to see that. So I don't know. I might keep covering Raw. We'll see. I'm undecided right now. Undecided. Strowman calls out Shane O'Mac. He is pissed because of everything that went down last week. They do a little recall of everything that happened. How he was humiliated having Adam Pearce as a tag team partner. Very upset about that. He's demanding an apology. And he gets a very quick one. Very abrupt, very quick one. And Shane leaves. And then Shane gets to the top of the ramp, turns around with the mic in hand, and he damn it, Mark. He looks like he has something to say, and then just leaves. He doesn't spit out the thought in his head. I'm laughing at Mark. He goes, I will attempt fast lane on the cock. And I almost misread that as in I will attempt a fast lane to the cock. I just oh my God. Rhea is incredible, Mark says. I hope the best for her. Yeah, I hope too. I hope so too. I mean, I've seen some of her stuff on NXT. I've heard more positive than I've seen of hers, but we'll see. We'll see. Critical Sting says, Shane almost made me turn the TV off tonight. Yeah, and we'll get to that because we have a segment later that we'll talk about. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So yeah, something weird is going on with Shane O'Mac here. We'll talk more about him later. Then we get a no DQ match between Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. This one was balls out crazy, just absolutely insane. I loved this match. I was just not a fan of the ending. I wasn't upset about it. I mean, I could have predicted it, honestly. I mean, I predicted a couple things that were going to happen on the show, but it's easy to do sometimes for WWE stuff. But these two literally knocked themselves out trying to hit each other with the steel steps because their faces went into the steel steps. Sheamus, unfortunately, had the worse of the two because as he fell backwards, the steps fell on his face. Poor bastard. It looked rough. It was like, dear God, you just smashed your face into the steel steps and then you fell and it fell on you. I'm sure it wasn't supposed to happen like that, but damn, it's crazy. So he's knocked out. Drew's knocked out to the point where he hit the ringside barrier and flipped over it. And no contest bubble. Dear God, it's time to go. Double TKO is what I wrote down. I don't know what they officially called it, but there you go. Now, I know a lot of people think that it should be Drew McIntyre versus Lashley at WrestleMania. I don't want to see that. I would rather see this go till WrestleMania and have it go in a steel cage, Hell in a Cell, whatever. These two beating the shit out of each other, in my opinion, can do no wrong. It's probably going to end at Fastlane, but I want it to go to WrestleMania. I want these two to have just the knockdown, drag out Iron Man match, 30-minute Iron Man match. There you go. Iron Man match in a steel cage. How about that? That's what I would book for these two, because I love watching these two fight. And damn, they're good at it. Thank you, Eric. It says, nice headband. This is one of my newer ones. I had to find something new and blue. It kind of almost matches the Stone Cold shirt. So there you go. That's why it's on there. On the old Bone Dome. So next we got a new backstage guy, Kevin Patrick. Give me your thoughts on Kevin Patrick. He didn't really get a chance to express himself much because AJ Styles cut him off. But welcome Kevin Patrick to the backstage area. We'll see what they make of him, or what he makes of himself in this company. I don't know where he's from. I have no clue. I saw an article about him today, but I didn't really know, just saw that this guy was signed. So, Bill's Boy asks here, so who do you think Lashley should wrestle at Mania? Honestly, I don't know. I mean, part of me did not want to see Miz get the rematch here. I wanted to see Miz get his rematch at WrestleMania. Because Miz even said last week, you don't want this match now. Have your match at, it's okay. It was all just, work trying to get out of the match. But he even said, and it made sense, don't have your match now. Have it on the grandest stage of them all. WrestleMania. That's where I would have done it. That would have been great. Samoa Joe, please. Nah, he I don't honestly, when he comes back, we're probably not even gonna know when he's coming back. He's taking his sweet ass time coming back, so we'll see. I don't know. I really, I'd say Strowman, but he's tied up with all this BS with Shane O'Mac. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe McIntyre and Sheamus will wrestle one last time to end this feud at Fastlane. And it'll be for number one contendership. Whoever wins will face Lashley at Mania. Or maybe the whole thing will just go till Mania and it'll end up being a three-way. I don't know. I really don't know. I feel kind of bad for Miz, though, because now what's Miz doing? Maybe Miz will weasel his way into the main event. Whatever they do, they got plenty of people on top that they can, insert in there, and they all pretty much make sense. So I am very curious to see how they're going to play out the next month. Either way, I'm very happy for Lashley. What is his injury? Who's injured? Oh, Samoa Joe? I don't know. He's had a ton of injuries. I don't. He's been out of the ring so long I don't even remember. Yeah, Keith Lee's injured, I guess, again. It sucks. What happens to the Bad Bunny then, Jay? He's on SmackDown. I don't care what he does over there. He's hanging with Damian Priest, so it's probably going to be a tag match or something. Who knows? Critical Stig says Miz and Morrison can go back to humping stair handles. Whoop-de-doo! Oh God, fat asses! Oh dear God. So So yeah, I mean, there's a few question marks. We don't, we can't assume all the matches, but we know a lot of them. Hell, we don't even know if Asuka's going to make it to Mania. She wasn't even mentioned today. We had people talking about the Raw Women's Champion, but I don't think they even mentioned her. I'd have to go play it back. But Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, and Charlotte were all talking about her at one point. So who knows? Who knows? But all I know is that Shayna Baszler kicked her front teeth out. Crazy. Yeah, so new backstage guy, Kevin Patrick, talking to AJ Styles. And AJ Styles starts making fun of Orton. And Orton comes and challenges Styles. He goes, I don't think any of this stuff that's going on with me is very funny at all. So why don't you go meet me in the ring so I can kick you in the face? No, he doesn't say that, but he challenges him. So that becomes the main event. So there's just going to be some craziness that happens there. We get Xavier Woods with Kofi Kingston versus Shelton Benjamin next. And Xavier Woods comes off with, I would say, an upset. I would not think that Shelton Benjamin would lose to Xavier Woods. But next week, they're going for the tag champs. Kofi and Xavier are facing Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander for the Raw Tag Team Championships. In fact, there's another one going on next week too. Right. What the hell did they call Riddle? Rydell? Kofi was just crazy tonight. He was just all full of jokes and hyper as shit. Must have been testing out a new energy drink or something. My God. Called him Rydell. Riddle's facing Mustafa Ali next week. So we got a couple championship matches next week. So I'm actually looking forward to that. Paul Nelson says, I want to see AJ versus Joe one last time. Hey, that'd be pretty badass. I'm all for that too. We'll see. Hopefully someday. And then Riddle versus Slapnuts. I mean, Slapjack. Damn. Riddle versus Slapjack. And of course, Mustafa Ali is at the ringside of Slapjack. At one point, Riddle turns around, looks at Ali, and just says, would you just shut the hell up? Because Ali is just screaming at Slapjack throughout this whole match. I mean, he is obnoxious as shit. He is just nonstop on him, like a fly on shit. She was just ridiculous. To the point that I don't think Slapjack was even listening to him anymore. He was just doing his own thing. Pretty funny. But Riddle beats him with a Bo Derek, and Ali, of course, is just absolutely fuming. So he should use this anger and turn it into motivation for next week. We'll see what happens. So we could pretty much guess what's going to happen. But all right, we continue. Now, Shane O'Mac goes out to the ring, calls out Braun Strowman. Strowman comes out. And Shane seems to be having mic trouble. Grabs a new mic, jumps out of the ring, goes up the ramp. And yeah, this was probably, I understand what they were doing here, but this was very frustrating. Because there were points where Shane was just standing there for about 20, 30 seconds, just doing nothing. Just doing absolutely nothing, just staring and adjusting his sweater. Very difficult to watch. Probably the worst promo I've ever seen him do. I always enjoy Shane O'Mac because he is good on the mic, even if he's 1,000% heel, and he was here. He was 1,000% heel, but he was like the most annoying. Like this, I would compare this to Chris Jericho coming back, doing a lap around the ring, high fives, everything, gets in the ring, doesn't say nothing, does another lap around the ring, goes up the ramp, smiles, and leaves. Doesn't say shit. This had that exact same effect, only worse. Just like, damn, spit it out. It's, oh man, it was painful. It was very Critical Sting says, I turned back in when this segment happened and deeply regretted it. Yeah, right? It was hard to watch. It was legit hard to watch because we expect a great promo from Shane O'Mac, and this was worse than hemorrhoids. You know, this was horrible. So I was like, damn. And then he gets to the top of the ramp after, you know, going back and forth, up and down the ramp about 20 times. And Braun Strowman finally is like, that's it. And Shane O'Mac, what the hell did he do? Oh, he leans over, he goes into the mic, he goes, Braun, something like that. And Braun's like, that's it, you're dead. So he goes after him. Shane takes off in a vehicle, or what we think is him taking off in a vehicle because the camera cuts away. Braun watches the vehicle take off, and then he just goes to another part of the garage, and then up behind the camera comes Shane waving at Braun like, hi, still here, and then calls him stupid and then walks off camera. So yeah, he is the worst kind of heel, the most just, it's just brutally annoying here. Absolutely annoying. I pray to God that he turns this around and just cuts good promos, but I'm afraid we're not going to get that. This is obviously leading to Shane O'Mac versus Braun Strowman. What kind of match? I have no clue. Probably something crazy hardcore, because that's what Shane does. We've seen it over the last few years, especially with Taker and Miz and all that. Hey, at least it's not a tag match, right? But worse is an understatement, says Critical Sting, right? Damn, yeah. So, yeah, and honestly, I thought at first that this was going to lead to Adam Pearce versus Shane O'Mac, but it's not. Because I actually would have enjoyed that much more, because it's two authority figures clashing in a sense, you know. But that's not what we're getting. So, and I feel kind of bad for Adam Pearce because he's kind of like stuck in the middle of this, and it's just awkward as shit. But we'll see where it goes. We'll see. Nonetheless, Shane's gonna get an absolute ass whipping out of this. You know that much. So at least there's that, right? Women's titles on the line. Lana and Naomi. Hey, at least Lana and Naomi look like they belong together now. They both wear the neon green. Great looking ring gear here. Facing Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Dear God in heaven, one of my worst nightmares is coming true. Nia Jax brought Reggie from SmackDown to Monday Night Raw. Why? I could only say one thing when we saw Reggie come down the ramp with Nia Jax.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah. That's it.
Who booked this? What? How did you do?
he is zero worth out there. Absolutely zero worth. Like, he's not even contributing to matches. He's just... It's painful. It's more painful than goddamn Shane O'Mac. Honestly. It is. It truly is. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler retain here. And Nia Jax ends up carrying Reggie over her shoulder up the ramp while Shayna Baszler is carrying the belts. Now, the match was okay. I'll call it okay. Because, let's be honest, Lana's still improving. She has greatly improved from where she was, I'd say, like a year ago, okay? Because she clearly is working her craft and trying to improve as a professional wrestler. And I will give anybody credit for doing that, okay? You know, she's clearly improving. That's fine. We can, you know, object to the booking or who wins the match or who loses the match or whatever. She's clearly trying to improve. We've seen it. Actually, I have not seen her special yet. It's still on my to-do list. I do want to watch it because I don't know if it's going to be on the Peacock once I transfer. So I want to watch that before I transfer subscriptions from the network to the Peacock. But I heard that her documentary was good. I don't remember what it was. If it was a Chronicle or a 24 or what it was. It was one of those. So, but yeah, it's so she is improving, and like I said, at least they have Lana and Naomi matching ring gear or matching colors. You know, that helps because they didn't match like a week or two ago. So at least they're starting to do that more with tag teams. Now they just got to do that with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler because they still don't match, in my opinion. But whatever. So Nia carries up Reggie up the ramp, and maybe she'll dump him in a dumpster, and they'll pick him up, and he'll get carried away to the dump. You know, that's all we can hope for, right? Mark, I can't even repeat that. Oh. I need to make a soundbite for that. For the Peacock. I need to make a soundbite for this. I got to work on that soon. Just specifically for Mark when he has these little moments here. Main event time. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. Now, they kept calling this a WrestleMania worthy match or whatever they called it, something to that effect. If it was that, I agree. You know, I two main event talents, you know, facing each other in the ring. I was looking forward to this. And Mark says, "You can't censor me. I quit." I did enjoy this match. You know, there were matches throughout this show that I really did enjoy. This is one of them. You know, they picked a good one to main event this, but you had a feeling, given the circumstances that Randy Orton has been going through lately, what was going to happen to him. You know, and damn it, poor Orton, man, just more Alexa Bliss shenanigans. The match was great. Like I said, AJ Styles gets the win here, and I actually predicted that because Tracy woke up from her nap and said, "Oh, who's going to win this?" And I said, it's either going to end in, I first said no contest, but we already got that. So I didn't think we were going to get another one. The first one was McIntyre and Sheamus. I first said no contest because I was like, okay, something's going to happen to Randy Orton, and the match is just going to end. It's something supernatural, and it's just going to go off television like that. I said, or number two, Randy will just get distracted and AJ will win. So, okay, so we got number two. I was right. Sort of. Alexa Bliss appears on the screen just as it looks like Randy is about to go for his finisher on AJ Styles, finish the match. The lights start getting weird around there, and all of a sudden we hear the cackle from behind Randy Orton on the big screen, and we see Alexa Bliss with whatever, the Jack in the Box, and she gets right up to the end, right where it's supposed to pop, and she looks at it, she kneels down, she goes, not yet. And all of a sudden they pan back to Randy in the ring. He's choking, he's coughing, and he vomits more black stuff. And Styles is such an asshole. He just, does his finisher on him. And he, oh, Mark, you're not a mod? I'll have to make you a mod. Don't censor him. I like him. But yeah, he pins him. And that was the match. He pins him after he picked up a bunch of black stuff, and that's how we go off television. And Zach Bonifer says, oh, and AJ Styles is an asshole. There you go, Mark. You are now a mod. Now they can't censor you at all. Critical Sting is rolling his eyes. Sorry, Critical Sting. Had to. You guys will learn to love each other, or else. So that's the Monday Night Raw. Like I said, there were ups and downs. There were matches that I really enjoyed. Like I said, the Bobby Lashley retained. Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre literally kicked the shit out of each other to the point where they couldn't go anymore. They were knocked the fuck out. Riddle versus Slapnuts was fun, and the main event was fun, even though there was, he vomited black stuff again. So, I mean, obviously they're looking at the response they got to this online, and they said, oh, well, shit, that was a hit with the fans and the kids. They love that shit. Let's do it again. So they did. So yeah, it's all right. So I enjoyed this Raw. I was I don't know why it went really fast to me. Maybe that's because some of the matches were very long and some of them were very short. So it seemed to really go fast at points. I don't know, but let me know what you thought of it. I know there were some parts of this Raw that were very painful. We discussed those. I get that. So I'd give it like a 3 out of 5. So they're building stuff to the next pay-per-view and Mania. At least we could say they're doing that. We may not like some of the storylines or how they're being built, a la Reggie and or Shane O'Mac. But hey, it's not all perfect in the world of professional wrestling now, is it? So Glad you enjoyed that, Mark. So that's it for this one. Tune in tomorrow over on that other little podcast called Total Nonstop Impact. We've got Jake something as a guest right after Impact Wrestling goes off the air, because we will be live with our review right after the watch along. So please tune in on the Twitch. It's not internationally blocked. You can watch from wherever around this lovely globe of ours. If you've got the internet, you can watch us on the Twitch. Just look for Total Nonstop Impact and watch Impact along with us. I don't know if Front Row Bill is going to be back or if I'm going to have to do it old school again. I'll be checking in with the crew tomorrow to see exactly how we're doing this. But come to the watch along, come hang out with us, and then stick around for the review. And very excited to have Jake something on. I mean, he's really turned it around lately. He's formed a new identity in the world of Impact Wrestling, and I can't wait to talk to him about it with the rest of the crew. Very excited about this. You guys are just crazy. So yeah, tune in for that Wednesday. Come on back here. We'll get the fallout from AEW Revolution on AEW Dynamite. Thursday's the throwback. Friday is predictions, some point during the day. I'm not sure exactly when. Mark and I will be doing predictions, maybe early afternoon again. That seemed to work out pretty good. And then Saturday, Sacrifice. Can't wait. Moose versus Swan. Shut up and take my money. Shut up and take my $7.99. Can't wait for that. This week is just absolutely loaded, nonstop. I'm gonna have a record-breaking amount of hours podcasting this week. I may have a stroke by the end of the week. Please pray for me. So you know what we do. As we get out of here, we smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of my content hits your screen. On the audio, go to anchor.fm/smash this podcast. It goes out all over the place too. Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, Rebel Radio, Castbox, Verbal, Podbean. You name it, it's out there. I know I'm missing a few, but it's crazy. So yes. Mark says we may have a guest on Thursday too. We'll see. I know there's a few we've been talking about lately. We'll see what happens. But I don't want to guess. I don't know. So that's it for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Much love. We'll see you mañana over on TNI. Take care. Good night.